Varanasi's haunted Haveli, the Chandpur Axe Murders.
Okay, let's take a deep dive. Imagine yourself transported. Way back. Ancient Varanasi, right? The Ganges flowing nearby, that whole mystical vibe.
Yeah, powerful image.
But we're actually going somewhere quieter for this story. Just outside the city, this small village, Chandpur.
And the focus is this imposing old house, Haveli. It belonged to the Sharma family.
A family of spice merchants, doing well it seems.
Exactly. The Haveli itself, it really spoke of prosperity. But then comes this date, June 9th, 1912.
Right.
And that date, well, it didn't just add to the history, it scarred it deeply. The Haveli became known for something awful.
Absolutely. A real tragedy. So that's what we're doing in this deep dive, isn't it? We're stepping into that night.
Yeah, we'll walk through the events, look at the really chilling details. It's an unsolved mystery after all.
And we'll touch on the legacy, the stories,
Yeah.
the hauntings people still talk about.
Exactly. We're getting into the Chandpur Axe Murders.
And just so you know, we're drawing this from the accounts, the reports, the stuff that's kept this chilling story alive for, what, over a century now?
That's right, the historical record, such as it is.
Okay, so the Sharmas. Tell us about the family living in this grand Haveli.
Well, there was Ramesh Sharma, the father. He was the spice merchant, well respected, about 43.
Okay.
His wife, Lakshmi, she was 39. And they had 4 kids, quite young. Arjun, the eldest, was 11.
Just 11.
Then Meera, who was 10. Vikram was 7. And little Anil, the youngest, only 5.
Wow, 4 young children.
Yeah. And everything suggests, a pretty quiet, comfortable life there in Chandpur. Nothing out of the ordinary, seemingly.
And that specific night, June 9th, it wasn't just any random evening, was it? There was something going on.
No, it wasn't. It was actually the time of the Ganga Dussehra festival.
Ah, okay, so a festive period.
Exactly. Lots of celebrations. And the Sharmas, they weren't alone in the Haveli that night either. They had guests.
Oh, who was staying with them?
2 young sisters, Radha and Priya Gupta, daughters of another family. Radha was 12, so just a bit older than Arjun, and Priya was 8.
So 6 children in the house that night, plus the parents, 8 people in total.
8 people, yes.
Can you paint a picture of that evening before things went wrong?
Well, the accounts suggest they got back home, maybe from the festival, around 9:30 p.m.
Okay.
You can almost picture it, can't you? Walking back, maybe through mango groves nearby, you might hear their laughter.
Yeah.
The oil lamps, the dayas, flickering in the courtyard as they arrive. It sounds so peaceful, almost idyllic.
A warm end to a festival day.
Exactly. Just a normal family evening.
Which makes what happened next just utterly horrifying. Because that piece, it shattered completely later that night.
It really did. After midnight, under a moonless sky, the whole village is asleep.
Yeah.
And then a shadow slips into the Haveli.
Slips in. How?
Through a teak door. The reports say it was simply unlatched.
Not locked.
Just unlatched.
Yeah.
So whoever it was, they didn't have to break their way in. No forced entry.
Yeah.
And the weapon, this is chilling, it wasn't something they brought with them.
No. Where did it come from?
It was taken from the Sharma's own property. A kulhari, an axe.
An axe.
Yeah, they could use for chopping wood. Just grabbed from the wood pile right there outside the Haveli.
That's deeply unsettling. It suggests either they knew the place or they just took the first thing they found in the dark.
Could be either. And they moved quietly.
Completely silent, apparently. Footsteps muffled by the earthen floor inside. The reports really stress the stealth. Okay, and the attack itself. I mean, the details are grim. 8 people asleep.
Yes, all 8. Bludgeoned in their sleep. And here's a really horrific detail. The killer used the blunt end of the kulhari.
The blunt end, not the sharp blade.
No, the blunt end.
Why? I mean, what does that even suggest?
That's one of the big unanswered questions. It's
Yeah.
baffled people for years.
Yeah.
Maybe it was about inflicting more pain. Or maybe it was just quieter than chopping. We don't know.
Either way.
Either way, the result was brutal. Ramesh Sharma, the father, the violence against him was extreme. Accounts say his skull was shattered, nearly 30 blows. His face, unrecognizable.
Oh my God.
His wife Lakshmi and the children. They suffered fewer blows, technically less savage in that sense, but they were killed just the same. Their blood soaked right through the cotton mattresses they were sleeping on.
It's hard to even comprehend. And beyond just the sheer violence, there were these other details, strange things left behind, almost ritualistic.
Yes, absolutely. That's a word that comes up a lot. Throughout the house, mirrors and any glass windows were draped. covered up.
With what?
With saris and dhotis, clothes belonging to the family, just draped over them.
Why would someone do that?
Well, that's fueled so much speculation. Local beliefs, some of them suggest it's done to trap spirits, maybe stop souls escaping. Or perhaps even so, the killer wouldn't see their own reflection. It's eerie.
It adds this whole other layer of weirdness to it all. And there was something in the kitchen too, right?
Yeah, a very bizarre scene. A clay pot of uneaten kheer, the sweet rice pudding.
Right.
Sitting right next to a slab of raw mutton. Just left there together.
Any idea why?
None whatsoever. It's never been explained. Just another strange, unsettling detail in a house full of them.
So after doing all this, the killer didn't just run.
No. They apparently washed their hands, used a brass loda, one of those small water pots.
Wash their hands.
Then locked the heavy main door from the outside, sealing the horror inside, and then vanished. Just disappeared into the night.
Was there any sign that anyone fought back? Any resistance at all?
One small, heartbreaking detail. Radha Gupta, the older guest sister, the 12-year-old, she had scratches on her arms. It suggests she might have woken up, maybe struggled, just for a moment.
Oh, that's awful to think about. And the discovery the next morning must have been, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. A neighbor, Shyam Lal, noticed how quiet the Haveli was. Too quiet. No morning sounds.
Right.
So he went over, peered through a window, and, well, he saw the carnage.
The word must have spread like wildfire in a small place like Chandpur.
Instantly. Someone got the village watchman, the chowkidar. He ran to the local police station, the Thonsalana. The whole village was just gripped by terror. Absolute shock.
And this is where things went wrong with the investigation, wasn't it? The police response wasn't great.
Tragically inadequate. You have to remember, this is 1912. They just weren't equipped for something like this.
Okay.
The reports say the scene was basically trampled. Well-meaning people, maybe police too, just destroyed potential evidence almost immediately.
Oh, no. So crucial clues lost right at the start.
Very likely. And this wasn't just a local story either, right? It made waves far beyond Chandpur.
Oh, absolutely. The sheer brutality, especially with 6 children killed, it sent shockwaves across colonial India. Newspapers in big cities ran huge headlines, calling it a demon's work, things like that, a Demi's work. And yet, despite all that attention, all the horror, the case is still unsolved today.
Still unsolved. A complete mystery, really. A lingering wound.
But people did have suspicions, right? Theories emerged over the years.
Oh, yes. Various people came under the spotlight. Different theories popped up. It's like reading different possible endings to a story that, well, that never actually got finished.
Okay, let's go through some of those. Who was the first main suspect?
There would probably be Pandit Keshav Mishra. He was a wandering holy man of Sadhu.
Okay.
He was seen in the village around that time. And crucially, he was seen leaving Chandpur at dawn on June 10th, the very morning the bodies were found.
Very suspicious timing.
Exactly. And villagers whispered he'd been saying strange things before the murders were even discovered, talking about blood on the Ganges.
Whoa. And didn't he confess at one point?
He did, yes.
Weba.
He claimed the goddess Kali demanded the sacrifice. But then he took it back, recanted the confession.
Why? What happened there?
Well, that's the question. Was it genuine? Or the reports suggest the confession might have been coerced, forced out of him by a magistrate under huge pressure to solve this horrific case.
So the confession wasn't reliable.
It was deemed unreliable. He actually went through 2 trials, but was acquitted both times because they couldn't trust that confession.
Okay, so if not the Satu, who else?
Well, another figure who drew suspicion was Brajesh Yadav. He was a wealthy local landlord, a zamindar.
And his connection?
He used to be Ramesh Sharma's business partner, but apparently they'd had a falling out. Their relationship soured.
A potential motive then. Business rivalry.
Exactly. The story goes Brajesh had recently lost a big spice contract to Ramesh. So, motive. Possibly revenge or getting rid of competition.
And was there talk of him not doing it himself, maybe hiring someone?
Yes, that was the rumor.
Yeah.
That Yadav might have hired a gunda, a thug, to eliminate Ramesh and his family.
Any names mentioned?
One name did circulate. Mohan Kala Singh. And what's interesting, or rather disturbing about him, is that he was supposedly linked to other similar axe killings in different cities, places like Agra, Kanpur, around the same time period.
Wow, okay. That connection sounds potentially significant. Any other individuals who look suspicious?
There was also a guy named Vikram Sethi, described as a drifter.
Right.
He'd been seen near the railway tracks in Chandpur just before the murders. And apparently he was known to carry a kolari, an axe, himself.
Oh.
Yeah. And there were reports he'd been heard sort of bragging about settling scores. But he vanished, disappeared right after the murders were discovered, before the police could really question him properly.
Another dead end. And then much later, this wider theory came about, linking Chandpur to other crimes.
Exactly. Decades later, yeah. It became known as the railway killer theory.
Okay, what was that?
The idea was maybe there was this nameless bandit, a Sadakaraku, traveling along the Grand Trunk Road, this major highway.
Right.
And maybe he was responsible for a whole series of killings, including Chandpur.
What linked them? What made people think Chandpur was part of a series?
It was the details. The use of an axe, obviously, but also those weird ritualistic touches we talked about.
Like the draped mirrors.
Exactly. Draped mirrors, other strange arrangements. Similar things were apparently found at other crime scenes in places like Lucknow and Patna.
So you've got this range of possibilities. The sadhu, the angry business partner maybe using a hitman, the drifter, this hypothetical serial killer. Why did none of these ever stick? Why did the case go cold?
Well, a few big reasons, really. We already mentioned the initial investigation. It was just chaotic. Evidence was likely destroyed right away.
Yeah, the trampled scene.
Exactly. Plus, they just didn't have the forensic tools back then that we have now. No DNA, limited fingerprinting.
Right, very basic.
Very basic. And when you don't have solid leads, local explanations start to take over. People couldn't understand the cruelty, especially to kids. So whispers started. Maybe it was a shaitan, a demon, or a pret, a vengeful spirit.
Supernatural explanations filling the void left by the police.
Kind of. Those local beliefs, combined with the investigation hitting dead ends, it just allowed the case to fade into unsolved history.
A really grim piece of history. But the story doesn't end with the cold case file, does it? It lives on in the Haveli itself. What actually happened to the house after all this?
Well, for decades, nothing good. It was just abandoned. People avoided it like the plague, thought it was cursed, bad luck.
Understandable.
So it just sat there, falling apart, becoming dilapidated, silent.
Until the 1990s, I read. Someone bought it.
Yes. In 1994, a couple from Varanasi, Anil and Sunita Tripathi, they bought it. And they have this really interesting idea.
What was that?
They wanted to restore it, but not modernize it. They wanted to take it back, painstakingly, to exactly how it was in 1912.
Wow. So no electricity, no running water.
Nope. Just oil lamps, the dayas, wooden charpoys, those traditional rope beds, everything as it was. Their plan was to open it as a museum to preserve that specific moment in history.
A noble idea. But the Haveli maybe had other ideas.
It certainly seems that way. Almost as soon as they opened it up, visitors started reporting weird things, like unnatural cold spots in certain rooms, a really heavy feeling in the air, like deep sorrow, and hearing voices when nobody was there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So the Haveli quickly got a new reputation, not just as a museum.
It became known as a boot bangla, right?
Exactly. A haunted house. And that, of course, started attracting a whole different crowd.
Not just history buffs anymore.
No. Now you had tantrics showing up, people involved in certain esoteric practices, paranormal investigators, and just, thrill seekers hoping for a ghostly encounter.
And what kind of things do these people report experiencing there? What are the common stories?
Well, there's a whole range. Lots of auditory stuff. Whispers in the dark, often reported near the room where the children died.
Chilling.
People say they hear faint giggles, like children, or soft chanting, like, Amma, Amma, Mummy, Mummy.
Wow.
And sometimes apparently just blood-curdling screams.
Like from that night.
Who knows? But that's the terrifying implication, isn't it? Some people even claim to hear a man's laugh, deep, guttural, and cold, like the Ganges in winter, one description said.
Jeez. Are there visual things, too? People seeing things?
Yes. Reports of a strange mist, like a fog, drifting through corridors. It's especially around 2 a.m., apparently.
2 a.m. Any significance to that time?
Some people connect it to the sound of a distant train whistle that's sometimes heard around then. They think it might echo the killer's escape route, maybe using the nearby railway line.
Huh. Interesting detail.
And shadowy figures, too. Sometimes described as child-size, flickering in the courtyard, maybe, then just vanishing.
It's not just sights and sounds, though, is it? Some reports are more physical, people feeling things.
Absolutely. Visitors talk about sudden, overwhelming sensations, like intense nausea hitting them out of nowhere, or sudden rage, or just crippling grief right when they walk in.
Wow, the atmosphere itself affecting them.
Seems like it. And objects moving. A brass dia sliding across a table on its own. A wooden charpoy creaking loudly as if someone just sat down on it when it's empty.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah. And there's one specific account from a guest She said she felt a cold hand brush her neck when she was in the attic.
The attic? Why the attic?
Well, some speculate the killer might have hidden up there, waited, or maybe escaped through there. So feeling something there. Yeah, pretty unsettling.
I mean, what about the people who go there specifically looking for ghosts? The tantrics, the paranormal teams, have they found anything?
They claim they have.
Yeah.
They use, traditional mantras, but also modern gadgets like spirit boxes.
Right.
And they report making contact. Some claim they've communicated with the spirits of the Sharma children. Others even think they've reached the killer's spirit, maybe trapped there too.
Is there any evidence, like recordings?
There's one famous recording, widely talked about. A ghost hunter supposedly captured a voice, just a hiss, really, saying, "We should do."
Which means,
"Let me go."
let me go. Wow. And then there was that really disturbing incident more recently in 2014.
Yeah, that was very dramatic. A visitor who said he was a tantric was staying overnight.
Okay.
And during the night, he stabbed himself with a ritual dagger he had.
What? Seriously?
He survived, thankfully. But afterwards, his only explanation was just muttering, "It wasn't me."
It wasn't me in that house.
Yeah.
That's profoundly creepy.
It really is.
Yeah.
The caretaker, Ravi Kumar, who's been there a long time, he said it was unlike anything he'd ever seen happen there, though, he didn't outright say it was supernatural.
Still, that phrase, "it wasn't me," makes you wonder what was going on in his head or what might have been influencing him.
Exactly. Leaves a lot of questions.
So here we are, over 100 years later. A horrifying crime, technically still unsolved, with all these potential suspects drifting through history.
Right? None ever definitively linked.
And this Haveli, it's standing there not just as a museum trying to preserve 1912, but as this focal point for all these dark, unsettling, supernatural stories.
It really does continue to grip people, this story. And you have to ask why, don't you?
Yeah.
Is it just the sheer horror of what happened? The fact that justice was never really found? Is it those chilling, weird details like the mirrors, the key? Or is it this persistent belief, this feeling that the victims, maybe even the killer, are still there somehow?
What do you think is really trapped inside those walls? Is it just the memory, a powerful, terrible memory kept alive because the house itself is frozen in time?
Or is it something else, something genuinely unexplainable, something paranormal?
And those draped mirrors, just a bizarre signature of a disturbed mind. Or did they actually do what those old whispers claim? Did they trap the souls inside? It's definitely something to think about long after this deep dive ends.